The tiger is the largest member of the cat family. Most people think tigers are man-eaters, but almost all wild tigers are shy and avoid man. Wild tigers are found only in Asia. Tigers need only shade, water and food in order to survive. Many tigers live in zoos and people may visit the zoos to see the tigers. The tiger's coat is usually brownish yellow or orange red and is marked by black stripes. Tigers eat deer, antelopes, wild oxen and wild pigs. Tigers usually hunt at night using their sharp eyes and keen ears. Tigers run very fast and can leap nearly 30 feet or 9 meters. They are also good swimmers and can climb trees.
Tiger reads t, t, t. T reads t, t, t.
Tiny tiger, they whispered, just isn't too wise. Each time that we see him, he's wearing 2 ties.
Tiny Tiger strolled onto the baseball field. "Hi team," Tiny Tiger called. "Let's start the practice." The Tigers had not heard a word that Tiny Tiger said. They were staring at his ties. Tiny Tiger had not only worn a necktie to ball practice, but he'd also worn a bow tie. "Tiny," spoke up Tag Tiger, "why in the world are you wearing 2 ties?" "2 ties," replied Tiny Tiger, looking down at his neck. "Oh, yes, I do have on 2 ties. I forgot to take them off this morning." "Why do you have them on this morning?" asked Tag Tiger with a puzzled look on his face. "Well," Tiny Tiger continued, "I went to a party last night. I guess I went to bed wearing the ties." "Why do you wear 2 ties to a party? Was it a costume party?" "No," Tiny Tiger called over his shoulder as he walked towards third base. "It's funny, but I certainly don't remember putting on 2 ties. Never mind now, let's play ball." All the other tigers looked at each other. They whispered, "Do you think Tiny Tiger will forget and wear 2 ties to all the games?" Tag Tiger said in a concerned voice, "How could Tiny Tiger be so forgetful?" Tiny Tiger didn't catch any fly balls during the practice. Tiny Tiger even forgot to touch a runner at third base. Tiny Tiger had such a hard time remembering what to do. As they left the practice field, Tag Tiger called to Tiny Tiger. "Hey, Tiny Tiger, don't forget to be at the game tomorrow." "I'll try to remember to be there," Tiny Tiger called back to Tag Tiger. When the Tiger team walked onto the field the next afternoon to play the Antelope team, there was Tiny Tiger, still wearing 2 ties. Tiny Tiger had forgotten to take off the 2 ties. By the last part of the game, the score was 10-9. The Tigers were ahead, but the Antelopes were up to bat. "Dear God, help me to remember," Tiny Tiger prayed. The first antelope hit a ball that popped up to the pitcher. The next antelope batted a ball towards right field and ran all the way to second base. Tag Tiger struck out the antelope that was third batter. 2 outs against the antelope, Tiny Tiger thought. 1 more out and our team wins. Tag Tiger pitched the ball. Whack went the ball, and suddenly Tiny Tiger saw the ball coming towards him. Tiny Tiger reached out his paws to catch the ball, but it dropped in front of him. Just as Tiny Tiger picked up the ball, he saw the orange spiked shoes of the runner coming towards him. Remember to touch him, Tiny Tiger thought to himself. So Tiny Tiger reached over and tagged the antelope runner, and suddenly the game was over. Before Tiny Tiger knew what had happened, he was riding on the shoulders of his teammates. "Tiny Tiger is a hero," they cried. "He can wear 2 ties any time he wants to." "Not anymore," said Tiny Tiger with a twinkle in his eye. "I am beginning to remember now." What game was Tiny Tiger practicing? Yes, Tiny Tiger was practicing baseball. What was Tiny Tiger wearing? Tiny Tiger was wearing 2 ties, wasn't he? A bow tie and a necktie. Why was Tiny Tiger wearing 2 ties? Yes, he'd been to a party the night before and forgotten to take them off. Was Tiny Tiger sometimes forgetful? Yes, he was, wasn't he? Did the other tigers like Tiny Tiger anyway? Yes, they were all his friends, weren't they? Did Tiny Tiger remember to take off the 2 ties the next day? No, that's right. He came to the baseball game with 2 ties on, didn't he? Did Tiny Tiger try hard to remember what to do during the game? Yes, he did. Who helped win the game because he learned to remember? Yes, Tiny Tiger did, didn't he? Because he asked God for help to remember what he was supposed to do.
Listen as I tell you a word. Can you hear the T sound? Talk. Can you hear the T sound in the word talk? Yes, talk has the T sound. What? Can you hear the T sound in the word what? Yes, what has the T sound? Spin. Can you hear the T sound in the word spin? No, spin doesn't have a T sound. Lose. Can you hear the T sound in the word lose? No, lose doesn't have the T sound. Pit. Can you hear the T sound in the word pit? Yes, pit has the T sound. Plum. Can you hear the T sound in the word plum? No, plum doesn't have a T sound. Mill. Can you hear the T sound in the word mill? No, mill doesn't have a T sound. Tax. Can you hear the T sound in the word tax? Yes, tax has a T sound. Count. Can you hear the T sound in the word count? Yes, count has the T sound. Teach. Can you hear the T sound in the word teach? Yes, teach has the T sound. Listen as I read a sentence. Can you find the word that has the T sound? We use our ears when someone talks. Can you find the word with the T sound? We use our ears when someone talks. That's right. Talks has the T sound. Can you count the days of the week? Can you find the word that has the T sound? Can you count the days of the week? That's right. Count has the T sound. I will teach you reading. Can you find the word that has the T sound? I will teach you reading. That's right. Teach has the T sound. Can you find the word that has the T sound? What will you do on Friday? What will you do on Friday? That's right. What has the T sound? Tick-tock, says my clock. Can you find the word that has the T sound? Tick-tock, says my clock. That's right. Tick-tock has the T sound. Let's blend these sounds. T, A, T, A, tay, tay. T, A, T, A, ta, ta. T, A, T, A, ta, ta. T, E, T, E, T, T. T, E, T, E, te, te. A, T, A, T, eight, eight. A, T, A, T, at, at. A, T, A, T, at, at. E, T, E, T, eat, eat. E, T, E, T, et, et. Now let's blend these sounds into words. The silent letters are the ones that are gray. We don't read those sounds. T, A, M. T, A, M. Tame, tame. A, T, A, T, eight, eight. F, A, T, F, A, T, fate, fate. M, A, T, M, A, T, mate, mate. A, T, A, T, at, at. M, A, T, M, A, T, mat, mat. S, A, T, S, A, T, sat, sat. B, A, T, B, A, T, bat, bat. T, A, G, T, A, G, tag, tag. T, A, N, T, A, N, tan, tan. T, A, B, T, A, B, tab, tab. T, A, R, T, A, R, tar, tar. E, T, E, T, eat, eat. N, E, T, N, N, E, T, neat, neat. M, E, T, M, E, T, meat, meat. S, E, T, S, E, T, seat, seat. T, E, S, T, E, S, tease, tease. T, E, R, T, E, R, tear, tear. T, E, M, T, E, M, team, team. N, E, T, N, E, T, net, net. M, E, T, M, E, T, met, met. S, E, T, S, E, T, set, set. G, E, T, G, E, T, get, get. N, E, S, T, N, E, S, T, nest, nest. B, E, S, T, B, E, S, T, best, best. R, E, S, T, R, E, S, T, rest, rest.
Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 2a. God wants us to pay attention to what we do. It does not please him when we are careless or forgetful. Let's learn this verse and try to remember the things God wants us to do. After Jesus went to heaven, the disciples kept on preaching. King Herod became angry and Peter was thrown into prison. Wouldn't that be terrible to have your preacher in jail? All the church people prayed that God would care for Peter. That night, Peter was asleep in the prison between two soldiers, fastened with two chains. Other men stood before the door as guards. Suddenly there was a bright light in the darkness of the prison. The angel of the Lord came and touched Peter on the side to waken him up and said, "Peter, get up quickly." Peter's hands were chained, but suddenly the chains fell to the floor. His hands were free. "Get your cloak," said the angel, "and put on your shoes. Hurry and follow me." Poor Peter didn't know if he really was seeing an angel or not. "I must be dreaming," he thought. Peter did what the angel said and followed. They went past the first guard, past the second guard, and right up to the iron gate leading outside. It swung open by itself. Peter was outside the prison, free in the streets of the city. After they had gone a short distance, the angel suddenly disappeared. Now let me tell you what was happening at the house of Mary and her son, John Mark. Christians had gathered there to pray. They were asking God to deliver Peter from prison. They didn't know that God had already answered their prayer. Peter arrived at the gate and knocked on the door. A girl named Rhoda came to the gate. She didn't open the gate. She listened to see who it was. She heard a voice. It was Peter's voice. Peter was out of prison. Their prayers had been answered. Rhoda was so happy and excited that she ran back into the house. She said, "It's Peter! Peter's here!" The other Christians looked up from their praying. "No, Rhoda, Peter is in prison. We are praying that he will get out." "He's already out," Rhoda said. "I heard him at the gate." "Rhoda, you're mad. You're out of your mind. He couldn't be outside the gate." "Yes, he is. He is. It's Peter," she said. Now Rhoda, "Really, I heard him." When they saw that she was sure, they thought it must be Peter's spirit. Meanwhile, Peter continued knocking at the gate. Someone finally opened the door. "It is Peter. Look, everybody, it's Peter. He's out of jail." Rhoda realised what she had done. She may have said, "Oh, I forgot to let you in, sir. I am sorry." Rhoda had been so excited that Peter had been rescued from jail that she'd forgotten to let him in. All the time they were talking, Peter had to wait outside. Have you ever forgotten to do something? Of course, we all have. We must ask God to help us remember the things we ought to do. Acts 12, verse 1 to 19. Character objective. Purposeful. To learn to set goals. It pleases God when we finish things we are to do. We must resolve to accomplish a long-range goal and allow this goal to determine our daily progress. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 2a. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 2a. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 2a. Say it with me. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 2a. Let's say it again. Blessed are they that keep his testimonies. Psalm 119, verse 2a.
Tiger reads t, t, t. T reads t, t.
they whispered, just isn't too wise. Each time that we see him, he's wearing two ties.
Now it's time to work on your paces. Do word building pages 9 through 16 and any math pages your supervisor has assigned to you.